Hi, I'm Leadership Development Coach Kathy Archer. Welcome to the second week in January, while we take a look at setting some goals for this year to make sure that this year is different for you, so that you find that you are more connected to your life, more balance, more enjoyment, more fulfillment. So in December, we spent a little bit of time talking about sort of saying goodbye to 2014 and looking at the lessons that you learned from there. So I want you to take those lessons into today. And then last week, I asked you to consider, how do I want to feel in 2015? So taking a look at, it's not only about ticking things off your to-do list, but also, what is it that that's going to do for me? How is that going to impact me? How is it going to make me feel? And then today, we're going to move into looking at questions. So we often set goals at the beginning of the year, but I also want you to set some questions. I want you to have some things in your mind that you're asking yourself throughout the year on a regular basis. We have this wonderful gift that we've been given, and it's called curiosity. And the more curious we get, the more questioning we do, the more digging we do, the more we find out. And sometimes the more we find out actually gives us information and points us in directions to help us live the life that we actually want to be living, not the heavy, sad, frustrating life that sometimes we experience on a more regular basis. So I want you to get curious this year. I want you to set aside about 2, 3, 4 questions that you ask yourself on a regular basis throughout the entire year. So you might have them pop up into your calendar. You might have them something that you journal about maybe once a week or once a month, where you just kind of have these questions lingering and you answer them. And every time you answer them, you'll answer them in a different way. You'll have new insights. You might talk to other people about them. You might have learned things. So for example, one of the questions I asked myself last year was, what would it take for me to really lean into being focused and more productive? And what would that get for me if I was able to do that? And so I continually looked last year at, when was I most focused? What, helped me be most focused? When was I sort of most just really in line with what I needed to do and all of the distractions out of my head? What was going on for me then? And I learned a few things. I learned about POMODORO technique and how important it is for me sometimes to set timers and really just spend some focused time. I learned about OMNI focus, which allows me to use my GTD, my getting things done method, to sort of really keep in line what's important for me to do today, but also have a system in place so that I don't lose those other things. And I learned that that was really important for me. In order for me to maintain focus, I need to know that there's a safe place for all of those other things to be, and that I won't lose them and I won't forget about them and that I'll come back to them. So that was one of my questions that I asked. One of my other questions that I asked was, if I am to, up my meditation practice just a little bit, just sort of put myself more in the game, what might change for me? And so I did Oprah and Deepak's 21-day meditation challenge 2 or 3 times last year. I downloaded David G's information and did some of his meditation stuff. I tried just sitting in silence more often. I tried, just throwing little things in the middle of the day, tried doing it in the morning. I did lots of different things to try and just up my meditation practice. I'm not a big, person who's gone to meditation retreats. I'm not some big guru, but I know the benefits of sitting silently or sitting mindfully for periods of time. And so I upped that last year, just a little bit, just enough to check it out. And again, when I would ask myself that question every few weeks, I'd be, what have I done to up it? And what has it changed for me? And what I noticed over the year was that I have slowed down more. Not slow down in that I'm not doing lots, because I'm a very active and busy person. I'm always on the go, but I am more present and mindful at times. And in doing so, I'm finding that I am able to find more moments of joy, more times when I can lean in and sink into that place. When we have these big suppers with all of our family members here. Our house is full and active and busy. And I've noticed times where I'm sort of able to step back from the craziness that's going on and just sort of feel the gratitude, feel the love, feel the appreciation for having everyone there and everyone present, despite, everything that's going on in our lives and everything that's going on in each of my kids' lives as well. One of the other places that I started asking myself questions was, how much community involvement am I comfortable with? And so I sat on a couple boards last year and did some different activities. And what I realized was, it's actually not how much community involvement am I comfortable with, but what type of people, when I'm involved in the community, am I comfortable with? What I really learned was, it's not about the activity itself, but the energy of the activity. When it's positive, engaging, and flowing, I'm there, I'm involved. But I do not want to be involved in places where I'm feeling drained, where there's tons of negativity, where it feels like work to be involved in that community in activity. And so that's given me direction for this year in terms of what am I going to be involved in and what am I not going to be involved in. So take some time, identify, like I say, 3 or 4 questions that help you kind of just move through this year and allow yourself to learn more. Make sure you have a system in place where you have those questions listed, you're able to come back to them on a regular basis, and you're able to answer them again and again and again throughout the year. Get curious, get real inquisitive about these questions. Try and answer them several times in different ways and see what you learn about yourself and about how you show up in the world and how you want to show up in the world. Get curious this year. We are. It's not an either or. You don't have to either have a fun, balanced, healthy life or a career. You can have both. And I really want to encourage you to share this with other women who need to hear that message as well. So make sure you share on Facebook, forward the emails to other people, get them to sign up and get this information as well.